accidental timing there on the music, but hello. Good morning. Hope everybody is having a good time. I am many hours late this time around, but it's okay. We're in this disaster together. I have managed to get some work done on this AI, though, so that's good. I did a bit of testing of the existing AI that are actually in the map. So Mike had the green guy. He still needs a fair bit of work. He still needs, I would say, I mean, he needs his attacks. He needs his production commands. Right here, apparently. Guess we can just do that copy pasted. Let's see, this is B at 7, and then I think, yeah, that's 13, say, I think I'm going to swap those two, even though the res area IDs are different, because ABC makes more sense. Imagine in this case we have one hive. Maybe we'll do one layer for this guy and he won't get hives at his main. I mean, at his generic expansions. I think that makes more sense. If I was really next level, I would have done this. Only have to type 3 letters. Pretty epic. Okay, so now we've got our system done for that. Oh yeah, that's right, I had another system in play for adding more depending on the resources of the area. I don't think I really... Like, in this particular case, it's more down to playstyle. I would rather this guy just expand a lot and not really care about, like, reinforcing a lot of those or evolving a lot of those. That being said, I do need to open up the placement map and see how many we got. So for the main A, which is this, we have 5 down here, 6. Looks like 10. And for B, we have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. For main C, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I count 12. I can double check that later on. And then for the min only, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So unfortunately, we couldn't condense any of them because they're all different numbers. 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. But that's okay. So that's done. I guess for layers, usually I do like a third or a half or a quarter of like the hatcheries get morphed depending on the playstyle. For this guy, I think it should probably be like a third minus 1 or something. Just so that we have, like, on the lower end, rounding down, I guess. So we have, for example, we have 9 here, so that would be 3 point something. So I guess we can just round down in that sense and say it'll be 3. And go there, 1, 3. For B, we have 11. We'll say the same thing. And in that sense, we can actually just jump to A layer and then remove this because it's the same value. And over here we have 12, right? So this will be 4. And then for min only, I mean, that'll also be 3 because that's 9. So I'll just leave it to the comment. And then, I mean, for Hive, I feel like it should be the same thing, honestly. Like a third of layers or something, half of layers rounded down. In which case, if it was just 1, it wouldn't be necessary for any of them besides main C. Main C would be the only one that needs it. So we'll say, in that case, the mains are really the only one that I would need it for is C. So we'll delete all the other ones, and we'll even delete their calls. Min only. What's up, Ikewear? No, these Zerg are just randoms. So this is script. Alright, so that's all we need there. And easy enough. So we've got the production added. We have the oh, I wrote the random expansion. We have everything else done. I would say I guess one thing I can do for the production of hives is I can do something like Rosaria. I think this is supposed to be at least to jump to hive max. I don't know why it would be at most. Doesn't really make any sense there. We'll say at least add prod main C hive. Yeah, they're meant to be like elite, but like they would basically be heavy micro users if that were something that we had already instituted. But I'm playing around with the idea of more faction-specific mechanics for them because I intend them to survive vanilla and go into Brood War. So it would make sense for them to have their own special tactics and special units, maybe, or upgrades or something like that. Whereas I don't think that that would fit in vanilla just because the scope of vanilla is smaller. So for me, it would be more like... I mean, I'm not even sure if I want to do Brood War at all at the end of the day, even though there's more interesting missions in Brood War. It doesn't feel like a reasonable idea for me based on what I've seen. So what I'll probably end up doing is taking the idea for the UED tech tree that I had in terms of the mechanics, and just working that into a new faction that I'll eventually develop for my own RTS, rather than worry about modding it into Brood War. And then for Hydra, I think we'll limit the scope of it to vanilla instead of the all 6 campaigns. So we'll just be doing, you know, the first 3. I think that would make more sense. And in that context, where the scope is scaled back a little bit, Omicron will probably just be a very tactical, very elite, like highly trained detachment of Terrans that primarily uses infantry, and like does a lot of drops, and is very aggressive, much more so than the other AIs that you may encounter. Whereas, like, so the idea that I have behind this is less about them being covert and more about them just really knowing what to do in every situation. Like, they're very prepared. They're a faction that thrives on being prepared, and so they have a lot of, you know, battle ideas or like battle information rather. They have a lot of tactical information they can use, and a lot of research is done on their opponents ahead of time. And so they're often, like, the one time there's probably only a handful of times you'll see them in vanilla. One of them will be on the science vessel Amerigo during the Zerg. Previously it was a micro mission. They will be there. I was playing around with the idea of throwing them in Jacobs, but I think that's a little too early. In NORAD 2, they will show up to recover Duke, and that's going to be, I think, your first introduction to them. And by themselves, they will liquefy a lot of the Zerg. So the idea is, like, if you allow them to get set up, they become a huge threat, and they don't just clean up the Zerg, but they also will threaten you as well. And should they become as they arrive, they basically become another objective for you to clear. The idea being that these are Duke's handlers, and they aren't going to allow him to defect from the Confederacy. So you have to drive them back and wipe them out. So that's the idea, anyway, in a nutshell. imagine saying, I mean, I have no idea what the worst one would be. Also, hello, Ichabod. I can't imagine trying to rank Blizzard's maps. I mean, I would argue they stopped making RTS maps after Brood War, so it's probably a map in that. But if you just mean in general, it's probably something in like Diablo 3. Like just Blizzard level or whatever. It's definitely something in like World of Warcraft, Diablo 3, one of those games. Refunded is a real game, man. Some guy named his YouTube channel is like Daily Warcraft Reforged or something. And he was posting on my tutorials asking for help with Brood War modding. So you know something has gone horribly wrong when there's a guy like that is trying to get Brood War modding instead. And I've played a bit of Diablo 2. It's just not my type of game, generally speaking. Too much grind, too much wasted time. Alright, I think we're good there. Attacks are all set. Yeah, the biggest question mark with this guy, with this player that I'm writing now, like, yeah, I'll do his attacks in a second, and that'll be the last thing that I have to do down on that end of the script. But the biggest difficulty is... figuring out what I need to do for... getting him to start. Well, that's too grating for me. What else do we got? I was getting destroyed towards the end of my stream yesterday by some music. I don't know what it was. Alright, well anyway, I think over here we have a system that's a little strange. So it seems like I was able to tie everything into itself anyway, but main select, and then I see. Alright, I see what I did here, so that's good. That seems proper from what I'm looking at. So if the probe death is basically just a confirmation of a town has been attempted to be made. Right? I don't know why I need to set 0 if I'm setting it 0 here. That seems like a strange redundancy. I think the idea initially was I wanted to wait until they had successfully started to build stuff and then do it, but it's that's not happening, so nor is it really ideal anyway. So basically the idea is I think I should also add some check that talks about guards or something, or not guards, drone counts in a certain area. Like wait until they have a drone to make the town. I'm not sure though. In a situation like this, it's very strange territory. Writing AI that's supposed to build with spawned units. So I think they'll probably spawn in with a couple of Zerglings, and then maybe a couple of Hydras, and then after the convoy of units from there is done, it should work. I mean, my main concern is that I want them to use the patrol command so that they... Oh, maybe they don't need that, per se? I don't know. Or I could, like, clear combat data or something. I want to give them the patrol order so that when they will immediately attack units that they come into contact with without them needing to be attacked. You know what I mean? That's like one of those situations where if you happen to have some units in this area when they spawned, you could walk past them and they wouldn't attack you. Stuff like that. And if I use the attack command, because it's not really an attack move. So perhaps that means I need to use issue order to do a generic attack move command and not an AI one. I don't know if that would work. So we could do something like... this, where... no. I don't want to do that either, though. I don't want anything super gimmicky. So maybe I'll just use the attack command. Send them to, wherever they need to go. Just gotta change these location names real quick. So what is this? Say always. So we have here a couple of chuckleheads. We'll say should probably be like a trigger or something. So I would say, like, in this case, actually, we should probably do... maybe 2 minutes in between waves, but the first wave spawns 4 minutes in. I think that's 5760. Alright, and then well... So then we'll say current players suffered at least. Oh, maybe we, instead of adding one death, we would randomize the Dagoth death. So it'd be like 13 randomized Dagoth. And it would be something like, well, there's again 3 options. So. Oh. So in this case, we'll do. I'll just do add one. Blank. And we'll say exactly, or it'll be at least as fine. Dagoth. And then exactly 0 current CV. Well, I guess the issue is I don't actually know. Oh. Well, I guess we can do it this way then. Depth 13. Yeah. Square one. And then we'll say for. No, Dagoth is just a death I'm using. Spawn. Well, I guess we don't really need to worry about that. We'll just. When do you think you'll get around to hooking the town persist stuff? Okay, gotcha. Good to know that things are progressing with that, though. All right. I guess in this case we can just do bring jump 15 least weight 1 from blank. Instead of the Daggeth Death, since that gets reset pretty quickly. And I think we're good. In theory, this should all work, so let's try and compile and see where we fucked up. Aha! I didn't do max or defense. Interesting. Epic. Or upgrades for that matter. Oh, I forgot to do his attacks as well. Oh, I see. I don't even call the upgrades until later anyway, right? Okay. And defense should be there. Just in case. Do like something like that. No, it's not an installation of the Forest Moon. That is pretty funny though. Could be. The second mission of Drakkar's campaign was supposed to take place in on an ice planet, where Terrans had pranked him, and I think it was some insane gimmick where you had to you were trapped in a jail, and of course there was a token breakout scene, and some zealot had to lead. Like you controlled the zealot, and Drakkar was like following the zealot around because he was like wounded or something, so he couldn't attack. Some gimmick like that because his shell was damaged, and then you had to lead him to various gateways along the way. And for some reason, loading him into the gateway repaired him or something. It was really dumb. Maybe it was a robotics facility instead of a gateway. It was like a super gimmick. It was back in like 2011 or something. Long time ago. Turbo gimmick, man. I think what got him were spider mines, too, which is pretty comical. Dragoon's weakness. Staging. We don't need staging. Upgrade is important, though. All right, so I think after that, it's just the attacks. So that's pretty cool. What I want to know is, can I name it anything? I never really played around with this, but I was pretty sure that the script names had to be identical or something. Yeah, it just ends up being Terran Marine ground units. So it looks like it's looking for a match in stat.txt, if I had to guess. All right, take a look at that. Will it crash? That is the question. Hi. Destroyed. I forget what the number was. It should be coming up though. Yeah, it's 5760. So approximately around there we should see some spawning. Let's see what happens.
Engage the enemy.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything just yet. My Zerg here seems to be spinning. Bullied. Hi. Why they're taking so long to build the Hydralisk den is beyond me. Finally. Ahmeded. Oh, it's this prank again. Yeah, they spin, dude. It's epic. Alright. Flag 16. Just saying. It's a beautiful thing. Omicron, more like Omiclown. He does have a nice amount of fire bats. That's pretty cool. I have no idea how to avoid spinning. I would imagine it comes in the form of you not dying horrible deaths with your Pathfinder code. I still can't believe that they're building a lair over there instead of somewhere else, but whatever. The reckoning is about to happen here. No, never mind. They're fine. Oh, I don't know who to attack. Why do they do that? Oh no, an Ahmed is loose. Oh, never mind. This is dumb. This is very dumb. What is happening over here? You guys didn't feel like building a hatchery or anything? Oh. That's an interesting place for it. I think maybe I screwed up my, my base layout for that one. No? 2048, 3120. Checks out. So I have no idea why that's down there. Not a clue. Where are the shamans? I guess he's slacking on building them for some reason. He should be getting them. "20 kills, 21 kills. They still have not sent a single Hydralisk up to kill this guy. Could have just attacked him with drones and slowly prickled his penis that way too. Oh shit, the flank is in, boys! Oh shit, check out that kiting. Oh no, it's over. Oh, never mind, he's got him in. He's banging, dude. Dude, where? Where's the hatchery? Why is it down here? What is happening? Holy drone. He's got a decent amount of units. And I haven't seen any frozen Vorvelings. Maybe that only happens when they are trained normally and not when they're queued for some reason. Hi. Okay, bye. This is dumb. Get him. Fuck him up. I don't know why this guy went on one base the whole time. That seems like another bug to fix. He did try to expand a while ago. Long time ago. Disaster. Oof. It's over. Somehow the Zerg here won. Nice drones. Why can't they build there? What the fuck? What is wrong with them? I can build here. Yeah, I have no problem building there. So I don't know.
What do you ask of me?
This guy's fucked. Just saying. Annihilated. Get him. Oh shit. Zerg here onslaught. I've been bullied. Alright. Well, I'll be right back, and then when I return, I'll debug the AI a little bit, figure out what's up with the expansions for Omicron, and what's going on with the fourth for a little bit, and then I'll add some print messages for my cat Angelo and see what's up with him too, because he didn't appear at all. So, BRB. Alrighty, we're whitey. I mean back. What? Good one. Well, I know this is a redundancy. I can get rid of that. But what else do we need? So for Omicron, I'm pretty sure there's some block in their expansion that stops them from going. Let's see. They need to have at least 13 SCVs and 2 barracks. That's never not the case after a certain point. And if they have 0 Hierophant deaths, they return homo. I think that stops them from expanding until after their first attack. But I'm not sure. And this is so that they can continue on with their other stuff in their main town thread and in their expansion thread. That's why that ad is there. And then what? Yeah, I don't see how they would get stopped in this system. It's pretty straightforward once it gets to the loop. And it's not like they could ever subtract. Yeah, I don't see any reason for this to happen. So if we never get that, say. Okay. Oh, I think I already see it here. The thing that was supposed to set the Daggeth death never got set. Because I needed to do a one-time set for the first wave. In fact, I think I should probably do 2 one-time sets. Just because that way we're gonna get the first 2 waves in theory. The system is definitely more complicated than I would like it to be. It's like more difficult to work within and to move around stuff. But I do think that we're on the right track. At the very least, we should be able to get something functional over here in this system. But I'm not sure. Would it be possible that maybe I have the wrong location in the create script block for exp do? No, that is location 8. And then I was, well, my next hypothesis for that hatchery placement was that maybe I screwed up the location in here, but it's not even in here, so that wouldn't take place. We know the res area is 11, so if it's 11, go to exp 4th I mean, it creates it, it assigns it. Oh, I see what happened here. Yeah, okay. That makes sense now. So we fixed that bug. I set it to the wrong death, and then it was jumping to the third. So it was base layouting even though it was assigned to that, so that would be why that happened. Okay, well. So now the more puzzling aspect of it all is why Omicron doesn't expand. Unless he just never had money, I didn't really check that. Let's see. So let's see what's up. In theory, we just fixed bugs for both of the Zerg players, but still investigating the Terran side of things. Pre-placed Vorvelings don't seem to burrow for some reason. Oh. Well, we have some Zerglings. But no...
Your warriors have engaged the enemy. What do you ask of me?
Utter annihilation, to be honest. Looks like these this attack wave needs to be delayed in some way so that they actually have more units.
Do I long for combat? Of course. I long for combat. She house.
Well, we have Vorvelings. I mean, we have random Zerglings here, right? So, in that case, I'm wondering... Oops. What? Oh, wait, I was just doing Player 5 Alliance triggered. Oh, okay. So now we've got a second round. Well, they have the drones, so that's good. Second wave hit. First wave was incomplete for some reason.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Why would it be a problem?
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
I'm wondering how he saw the Vorveling there. That seemed odd. Alright, so we're spawning in units, but they don't appear to be doing anything. There's no towns being created. We're also spawning in units when they... I think maybe the trigger is only that if they have no factories or something. Let me take a look. What's probably happening right now is that there's no probe deaths or something, so... yeah, that seems to be the case. So I would say, like...
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
I'm gonna do something like this. Also not really sure why the units are all spawning at the same time. There are waits there, but maybe the computer players are ignoring them or something. That's another very strange aspect of this whole thing. All right. That's where we're going to need to really work to simplify this system in the future, so it's easier for me to figure out what's going on. So there's a crash. Oh, I probably didn't, hold on. Yeah. I'm still not 100% sure what's happening with the spawn triggers and why they're skipping everything. Maybe it needs to be owned by player 1.
Sunset rays break through. When the nightfall comes. Darkness around us. Why should I be afraid of the dark? It accepts me into the shadows. I feel safe in the silence. I feel safe in the abyss. When the nightfall comes, I'll be waiting. Eyes of the mind, my soul secure.
This is some patchwork shit we're doing here.
When lights go out, I'm afraid of myself.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Pranked.
As I watch the night fall,
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
I saw myself fall into.
Yes, yes.
I'm here. I'm all over it. Never know what hit 'em.
What the fuck?
Never know what hit 'em.
Right. So in this case, they spawned over here instead of going to the B side, B site. Why, I have no idea. They are supposed to be moved to main B. To the spawn main B, but odds are, for whatever reason, the death didn't. So I randomize it here, and then that randomization should I mean, I don't know why the randomization wouldn't have worked before anyway, but... in this particular case... oh. That's why I didn't want to do that. Okay. So I can just put it there, and then we'll be fine. Okay. We'll try that. See if that works. It seems very silly right now. But that is slightly less patchwork than we were just a second ago. Oh, the other thing, though, is I am going to have to change the trigger here.
Engage the enemy.
I'm gone.
I don't understand why the drones are so angry. Why do they need to kill somebody? Wait, what? Alright. So they got Town B, I'm pretty sure. Oh, it re-randomizes. That's right. So by the time this all happens... okay. I get it. I see what I did incorrectly. What's up, Alexander? I'm trying to not be a completely incompetent man today. That's what's up, man. I'm just not quite sure why the drones are so hostile. Like, you need to... Right now, you need to bait them out with some unit in order for them to actually...
Reported for duty. Affirmative. Roger that. Right away, sir.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Commander. Rock and roll. Go, go, go. Let's move.
God damn it.
Jacked up and good to go. Let's move.
What? What are you doing, you fool? Oh, almost. Oh, you did it! Holy shit, it only took 30,000 sacrificial marines. Oh yeah, I can get rid of the Hierophant Deaths message. It may have just been that he was out of money earlier. Oh. Maybe he should send an SCV down there to finish that building. Just saying. We got pranked again. Oh. Okay. Reasonable. Why do they already want to expand? What the fuck? Oh, yeah. Maybe we should do something like bring Jam 13 at West. Although maybe it's not that bad of a tactic, it's just that they need to actually go there and do it. Oh, he must have died to some traps. Well...
Rock and roll. Go, go, go. Rock and roll. Go, go, go.
Now here they have a request for a, oh, good one. Okay, they are actually building stuff, which is surprising. What the fuck? Why did he do that? Why didn't he just go down? What a lunatic. Alright, so that town is getting started. Humble beginnings, guys. Very humble fucking beginnings. Hi. Get him! Bully him! Oh dear. It's not supposed to set any Daggeth deaths or pro... Yeah, it's not supposed to set any of this stuff. Hi. Spin. I think we need to do all of this stuff through. Oh, and we got a crash. Good fucking luck figuring out what that one is. Well, we not quite as successful as I was hoping we would be. Add build request. It crashed adding a build request to an AI. So something is horribly wrong. No, I have not read. Hold on. I I have no idea where to go from this one. I think I did fix the over-spawning, but... I think I have to refactor this. Let's see. I wonder why that was bricking, though. I guess because they didn't build 2 buildings there. Now, unfortunately, I can't have them unburrow there, this method, but... don't have PyDat open. Is there really no simple move order? Or what? I guess we'll just do 14 for that as well. In that case. Hopefully it doesn't break the internal AI. Woof. I'm still gonna have to fix up the location IDs for issue order, but otherwise coordinates will be done. Yeah, really like the biggest issue here is that we don't really have a good way to... So that's 17 and this is 22. Yeah, but we don't have a great way to make this look visually proper, considering They're just going to pop out of the area. But it's okay. 16 and 21. Yeah. Okay, nice. So in theory, we no longer need these triggers. Or these ones. It should be done all through the AI at this point. Woof. Alright, so before I test that, I will be right back, because I gotta see what's going on with my dog. All right. No emergency, just spinning. Which is about what you expect at this point.
Complexity to have much of a read as to what's going on, but in this round here, it's actually the B play. You got to get past config though, and they have managed to do it. Tabson was lurking in the connector as he has done a hell of a lot. He gets dropped, so that's left this into a 3-on-3. Blame F. Can't deny the bomb plant here. Doesn't quite manage it, but he has left complexity with a man advantage. So now he waits. He knows he's got a foothold in the bomb site. So this narrows down where big can be. They now know the opposite short, and if you're complexity, you've already figured out that Zatares is somewhere up here in the air.
Dumb. So how's my progress? Well, we're about to find that out, actually. I was just watching a highlight from one of the CSGO matches that went on recently. And I have saved that. Just trying to figure out how best to coordinate this rather complicated system here. Okay. I don't know why they're going over there. Or why the town got initialized over there. What the fuck?
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Well, another thing I just observed is that they spawn in way more than they should. If you're talking about the AI town stuff that you sent me, I downloaded it to me and looked at it, the files, but I haven't like booted it up. This music is, shit. Alright, so the drones are working correctly, but the other units are not. For some reason.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Bullied.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
When will this madness end? What a disaster. The easiest thing to do here seems to be to remove the traps. But why the other units are not ordered when it's in the same source region. I regret to inform you that you are completely incorrect, Ilya. The units are supposed to be being ordered by the AI script to move in to a certain region of the map. And for some reason, they are not... they're not being ordered or they're ignoring it. I'm not sure which. Okay. Well, that's something. I don't know. In this case, it seems accurate, right? But... for some unknown reason, the scripts are actually being assigned in the top left. Fuck if I know why exactly, but... and they're also being given the wrong... script anyway.
Your warriors have engaged.
I don't know how that... it must have been height advantage galore with that guy. That was insane. Very bizarre. Yeah, I already did do that, but I just don't know why... I think I need to separate this thing that randomizes and then calls the creations of stuff. Oh, okay. Do I even want to know? Oh, it's loop. I know what's happening there. It's just looping between itself for some reason. Why is it never going to C? That's weird. So that's happening because the first two are occupied, but for some reason it's never going to the other location. Also, they really don't seem that interested in handling that sort of behavior. I'm wondering if maybe the reason why the units were being fucked around with... I mean, I don't know why the... Why? Oh. Well, it may have something to do with the fact that the second location was deleted at some point. That's psychotic. Even if that were the case, I don't understand why they go from A to B. Like, they spawn in A, and then they get the build thread for B? For some reason? Yeah, thanks. Well, that's fine. All I had to do is replace the location there. But why? It's randomizing between 0, 1, and 2, but it never ends up 2 for some reason. Like, basically what's supposed to happen here is if there's still a probe death, that means that the AI can spawn a new wave. Which is probably happening too often anyway, but if there is a probe death, it's supposed to jump to main calculate B. Main calculate B then randomizes again, because the idea is the only reason why there would still be a probe death. All right, hold on, let me back up. I have to walk myself and you guys through this, and hopefully by explaining this I can find out where the flaw is in the code, besides it being really messy and hard to deconstruct. So main select. Main select is the block that gets multi-ran at the beginning, or one of the blocks that gets multi-ran at the beginning. It then waits for at least one probe death before progressing to main calculate. Probe deaths are set through main timer. You get one probe death and one Daggeth death. Daggeth is for spawning, probe is for expanding, or the waves, or the town creations. Probe is for town creations, and the Daggeth death is for the spawns. I'm not quite sure why I separated them. I think it's because I had to clear them differently for different reasons. So for every Daggeth death, like Daggeth represents how many waves that the AI can deploy, and probe deaths it's basically just like more of a Boolean, whereas like it's basically like the AI has a wave in there and is able to make a town, and if the probe death is 1 or more than 0 anyway, it means that they haven't made enough towns yet, and so that's the idea there anyway. So it gets reset back to 0 every single time the create script things fire off, basically. So that's where you see down here death set probe 0 blank, and then it returns to where it was called. So what's happening every single time I've observed this so far is main calculate fires off once the timer hits about 5760 frames, which is 4 minutes-ish. I mean, that 5760 is 4 minutes. It's probably a couple frames late because of the initialization. So that fires off, and then 2 minutes later, it prepares for another. It fires off another. So this main calculate block doesn't actually get run until 4 minutes in. At that point, it waits for a drone to be present, which is handled in the timer area. Once the drone is present, it will then based on SCV deaths, which are the randomizer to detect which expansion it's spawning in. Based on those deaths, it calls one of these blocks that then, if there's no buildings and workers in the location, and in a wider location around where the expansion is supposed to be, at that point, the AI will create the script. If there is a situation where it's already occupied either by that AI or by an enemy or by an ally or whatever, they return, and that's where you get this at least one probe comes in. It re-randomizes the SCV deaths so that it can pick one that's not occupied, is the idea, is that eventually it would randomize to the next one. So I don't really know how to make this more clean right now. I'm still trying to figure that out. But anyway, once there's 0 probe deaths, it will randomize the SCV count again, and then go back up to main select. Where it then waits for 0 probe deaths, or waits for 1 probe death from the timer to repeat the whole process. So that was the complicated calculating thing over there. Now the timer down here is pretty simple. So every 2 minutes, if after 4 minutes, make the first wave happen. After 2 more minutes, make the second wave happen. And then every 2 minutes, if this AI does not have any hatcheries, lairs, hives, or drones present on the map, then I will spawn another wave, basically. Now I can also do I should also do something like this for player 2. That's a safety check, so that if my ally, if Green's ally is dead, the brown player down here, if that's dead, then don't spawn either. And the idea being, once you kill the main AI, this support AI stops trying to breach the facility. So that's why that's there. What else do we got? The spawns are pretty basic. It's if there's 0 Dagoth deaths, then you're not spawning. And oh, okay, I see what happened here. So I was supposed to reset the Dagoth deaths to 0. So the idea was, if you fire upon a okay, here we go. So F13, at least 1 Dagoth spawn. Because after this point, we're supposed to reset them. Okay, that makes sense. So here we'll do subtract 1 Dagoth. And we'll add this death subtraction to each one of these spawn trigger scripts blocks, and then that should clear it out so we're not double spawning, which is why we were like doubling up earlier. Still don't know why the this stuff doesn't work. No idea. I guess I can increase it. I'll triple it, because 3. I can just do this. And hopefully that will fix the problem where they aren't actually attacking, but that might make it too big. I don't know. I don't actually know what this is in. I don't know if it's searching a radius in pixels or if it's in tiles. So that is a strange thing. If it's in pixels, then it needs to be even bigger than this. It's probably like a 64 search radius or something. Yeah, it should be 96. If it were in pixels, so we'll see if that fixes it. What's up, Balathal? Did I already say hi to you? I don't remember. Even though if I did, I just said it. Where do you see 0, 2, and 4? 14 is attack move. 0 is die, 2 is guard normal, and 4 is guard subunit. But I'm issuing order 14. 4 is the quantity. Yeah, I don't think it is in pixels. I'm pretty sure it was in tiles, but maybe it's in subtiles or something. I don't know. I don't have that documentation. I'll have to ask Nave. You actually. All right, so that's that. So I think the biggest issue anyway in here, like we fixed the double spawning thing, right? But the biggest issue that I can see right now is this calculate thing is too error prone. The problem is that I need to randomize the initial starting location between 0, 1, and 2. And from there, I need to... like that's what I do at the beginning. I randomize this at the beginning of the script. And then after that, we get... well... I mean, the biggest issue, I think, is that it's randomizing the SCV deaths again before the create blocks can... well, no, that doesn't even really make sense to me. That should work out fine, now that I think about it. The flow should be read current deaths and then call these scripts. And if they're not occupied, which they aren't, then creating this should be fine. I mean, I guess the issue is that the init main... where is it? Init main also reads exactly 0, 1, and 2 for which to go. So like, maybe it's like happening before that can occur. But then maybe for init main, maybe init main is where I can put the, what's it called? I can do deaths 13, set 0, probe blank, or something like that there, and then immediately check. I don't know. And then back up here. Exactly, wait, 0 probe. Yeah, we can just delete it from here then. But I don't know for sure. If that will fix it. I definitely want to fix that up and make it better, cleaner to look at, but I guess the only other thing that would be there to, like, that would be sensible to do in this case is have all of these functions be the main script and then run area towns or something, like have an actual different AI script entry for the actual towns, but I don't know. Oh, well, that's a nice prank. Hold on. Forgot to save that. Thanks for blowing my eardrums out, Drakkar. Okay. So it is actually at a different spot this time, which is nice. The problem is somehow we create script and then we're actually creating 3 different fucking scripts somehow. I don't quite understand how that's happening. That doesn't make any sense to me. It's like exactly 0, 1 SCV, wait for probe. I don't understand. How is it calling so fast or so many times?
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Maybe it just needs to wait. Yeah, it's probably something like that, actually, now that I think about it. Alright. Nave confirms it is in pixels, by the way. So for anybody who needs to use that information, search radius is indeed in pixels. So in that case, we can change this to 72. And with that weight in there, that should stop any issues. Well, if nothing else, we have a first draft that appears to work. I find it strange that I have not seen even once in all of these tests an example of them spawning in the right. How does it do that, man? And then they just spin anyway. I think it's eggshell blue. Yeah, it looks like eggshell blue. Well, now they're just going to spin because drones can't see other drones or borrowed Zerg units in the area over here, so that's epic.
Call the shot. Never know what hit him. I'm all over it. I hear that. Never know what hit him. I'm all over it. I hear that. Never know what hit him. I hear that. I'm all over it. Never know what hit him.
They don't seem to be too interested in
I hear that. I'm gone. Never know what hit him. I'm gone. I hear that. I'm here. Call the shot. Never know what hit him. I'm gone. I hear that. I'm gone. Never know what hit him. I'm gone. Never know what hit him. I'm gone.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
well, in this situation, they didn't even respawn.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
What do you ask of me?
Hi.
This is your reward. What do you ask?
Well, let's see what they do. Oh, there we go. I'm not sure what the crash is. I think it might be defense being requested by the overall structure instead of something else. I don't know. Or it could be upgrades. Anything. I don't know if you can request that stuff in the town, that it doesn't exist. But the problem is I need to request it in that town. Because if I don't request upgrades and defenses and expansions in the overarching main town. No, I can't do that because there's a very high likelihood that one of the drones dies and doesn't make a hatchery. I could do like wait until you have no more drones, but that seems really silly. Adds a lot more failure points to the whole thing as well, and it's already pretty fucking failure pointy at this point. Just needs to not happen. I don't really know what the solution to that is. Maybe just spawning one drone at all. But anyway, I don't know about the requesting defenses or what. Definitely seems dicey. Anyway, as far as towns, he can make up to 2. My idea was that the first 2 waves will spawn no matter what, and then he won't spawn another wave in until after he after his forces die. If he has no drones and no production structures, he will try to re-enter the facility every 2 minutes. Well, the problem is that this stuff needs to go through, I think, in a timely manner. Anyway. And it also can't be exactly 0 drone anywhere because, you know, it has to account for the fact that you could do either or, right? You could do, I guess I could do like in a location around the whole thing. But even that's not a guarantee because you might just have the drone flee from the area or something. So that's 25, 26. So I guess that will work. I don't know, man. I'm mostly this is such a fucking insane bloated system, man. And then at the end of the day, they request something that crashes them anyway. You mean of the video? I mean, I'm thinking that similar to the CSGO videos that I've been making, I can probably just open up maps in the editor, paste through them, and then start them up with the AI debug plugin and spawn a bunch of units around and like make mock-up fights or whatever. In that sense. Yeah, you can build over and walk over the dead turrets. I mean, you could always walk over them in vanilla. I wasn't going to change that. And originally I was thinking that they should be unbuildable, but then I made too many creep-related issues. So I decided to make them creepable, but I think that means that you can build over them too with Terran and Protoss, which is unfortunate, because that's not really what I wanted, nor what I expected to happen when I set it to creepable, but, you know. Well, I would need maps that I would want to analyze, that people would benefit from me analyzing. I can probably do some of my old stuff if I think that would help make a point. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, I got a lot of CSGO stuff to do. Mapcore, the Faceit hub for Mapcore contacted me about the Wigman stuff, and if I'm able to, I would like to actually shoutcast the they have a Wingman contest, which they said they were interested in getting me to cast for it or something. So in addition to just having to prepare to figure out how to cast in the first place, I also wanted to do videos on all of the Wingman maps, but I think there's only 6 of them. So just doing map analysis on those. And those would probably be easier to do because they're smaller. They're only Wingman maps after all. So. Yeah, we'll figure that one out. So, anyway, outside of the CSGO stuff, I am interested in getting work done on Brood War map analysis videos, like level design videos for Brood War and stuff. I just need to figure out what maps I actually want to do for those. But obviously I could do some of your work, Veek, if you were interested in volunteering some of your maps for that. But I think I've already done videos on most of your stuff. I mean, they were private videos. They weren't publicated. I don't know. I would like to do videos mostly for people who are actively working on projects or, you know, whatever, something like that. I think that would be neat. But not sure how that will work out, really. I don't know how many people are still working on stuff. Alright, so for this, I really have no idea what to do about this issue. I'm not sure why it doubles up like that. Yeah. I'm not really looking for maps that are like exceedingly high quality in this case. It's mostly just I've always done map analysis videos for Brood War. It's usually been editor reviews, or in some cases I would like play a map and then afterwards I'd open it up in the editor and deconstruct it. I did that for T-Dog, for Heltrix, I think for you once or twice. I've definitely at least done if you remember the Tassadar editor review map where I opened up your map and accidentally echoed myself into another dimension. I did that. I think I did a bunch of written stuff for you. I've done it for a lot of people. I've done it for DF and other people. So really, it's just a matter of I don't know, man. Figuring out what maps to do. So if you think you'd benefit from the feedback, then send your shit over. I mean, I do host a contest called Mapcrap every other week. Not looking for the pinnacle of quality. Though some positive examples of stuff would be useful for helping to demonstrate points, but there's usually good and bad in maps, not just good or not just bad. So, like, it's pretty rare to find a map that has no redeeming qualities in its layout. Destroyed. So yeah, I'm looking right now. I'm trying to figure out like what exactly I can do to make this situation a little bit less tismic. I'm thinking that I just don't understand how main A create, main B create, main C create, how these are all getting called. And so what I was thinking was that I don't know, man. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, well, I think the level design video was fairly, like... It used a very linear case of most... And it was very much player-focused as well. It was, like, focused on what the player had, as opposed to... I didn't really touch it on conceptualizing map design from... like, designing maps such that multiple players had starting and ending points, and what that would mean in general.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy. I long for combat.
Zerg Hearlings. So pretty soon we should be hitting the second wave. Yeah. So here it randomized to B 3 times and then jumped to A. Why? Why is it like that? annihilated. Well, oh, he doesn't have the money. Somehow. That's way better than it was before, though, so we'll say... Wait, what? How? He's supposed to have 12 drones before he tries to expand, and yet here he is trying to expand again, I think. Oh, wait, no, that's his main. So this worker is assigned to this, unfortunately. This is what I'm getting at, what I'm seeing. What do you mean the hatch? Oh, like the hatchery? Yeah, for some reason it used to work so that they would move burrowed Zerg units, but it doesn't work anymore. There's some regression that broke it, more or less. I guess this guy probably needs more minerals injected when he has a successful wave emoji. I don't know what this guy's doing. Oh, you're calling me. This is expected where it's going to loop forever because there's stuff here. But honestly, it shouldn't even... Like, the... Oh, I don't have a safety check, I don't think, for the... what's it called? The... Timer A, spawn A, spawn B. Yeah, right here, it's... Oh, that's another thing I didn't even think about. Okay, so that's fine. So that'll fix that.
Have engaged the enemy.
For some reason, they're satisfying creep colony requests. They're getting creep colony requests when they don't even have the hatchery built yet. I'm pretty sure I was smart enough. Oh, well, in this case, it's... Wait, oh yeah, so wait, oh no, wait bill, yeah, wait bill 1 creep colony. Oh, okay, yeah, right here, wait bill 1 hatchery. That's what they're supposed to be there in the tower thread there. And in C tower, it is wait bill 1 hatchery, wait 200, and P2. So that was the only problem there. So fix that, which means they won't fuck up the base layouts for everything. We had to do a lot of boilerplate shit to get this to work. But I do think we have something going for us. I don't know why it only goes to A and B. I have not yet seen it go to C, ever. Even when it's looping like that. I don't know if that means we need to randomize, like make the randomizer different. Something like for randomizing the SCV. Like maybe it's fine that they always are either in the left side of things. They're either north or south, but maybe they should be doing more there later. So like, I don't know why. Like, why would I need to randomize it by 3 instead of 2? I'm not really sure I get that. I don't quite see why. Besides the fact that the simulation demands 3, I don't really know what the motive, like the logical reasoning for it never choosing C would be. Like, I don't even get the debug message of it going up there, is the really confusing thing.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Oh, now we have C. Check that out. Destroyed. C just doesn't have any money right now, but... Okay. But, yeah, Alexander, it's going, man. We're almost fully functional at this point. The only thing that I have to do here is... It should... I don't understand why it wouldn't add 500 ore every single time. My, I don't know what the fuck I just did there. What? No. Get out of here. Oh, maybe it... Wait. No, that should work. Why wouldn't it work? That's really dumb, Veek. I don't know why that's like that. I thought randomized 2 would be 0, 1, and 2. Jesus Christ. Oh, Iquare. You motherfucker. You mathematical man. What was I doing? Looking for resources. Yeah, this should be fine. It's resources, player ID, add, any, or 200. In this case, it's or 500, right? Maybe it has to be the explicit player in this case. So it has to be 3. Because again, the simulation demands 3. Well, I'm pretty sure they got it the first time, though. That's the puzzling thing, is I'm almost certain they got it the first time. So... Very confusing. Well, I thought that randomize 1 would be 0 and 1. I thought, like, when you're randomizing between whatever the number you put in there, it randomizes between... what I thought was 0 is considered an integer in that sense. So when you're randomizing between, like, you could theoretically write randomize 0 and it would just random between 0 and nothing else because 0 is the only option. That's what I expected the case to be. I didn't think that it would have to be 1 above. That seems silly. But that also means I have to fix all of my attack threads ever, I'm pretty sure. Because I didn't know about that when I was writing those. But we'll see. I mean, not the target selection threads in stuff like Hydra. Now, what the fuck was I just changing? Oh yeah, that. So yeah, I mean, at this point, assuming we get the money thing going, and assuming it is actually working anyway, and it's not like a problem. Available 000. It should go straight up to 500. I wasn't tracking this earlier, so. Annihilated.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
What? Oh, the town died because the only drone... Yeah, that's another thing. Alright. You fuck. Simulation can no longer abide by 3.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Okay. Yeah, why isn't it going up to 500 again, though? Also, I can't do the system that I was talking about doing earlier. Anyway, we are going to need town persist, and we're gonna need to run this over an area town or something. Force area town or something like that. So that's unfortunate, but whatever. That means we're going to start crashing at some point. But yeah, I don't know why do resources not add to the bank properly. The print message comes right before the resources would. It's literally right before the print command. I mean, right after the print command, I see, you know, MH main B or MH main A or MH main C or whatever. So I know it's like, it has to be firing because there's no jump after that. So why that would not work is beyond me. But whatever, I'll figure out more information about that later. I do have to head out to take a walk and some other stuff, get some other stuff done, and then of course Fraud Night is in about 45 minutes. So join us for some Counter-Strike, and I don't know if we're playing Battlefront or anything else today. Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Hope to see you guys playing with us, and then later on I'll probably record a video of some kind, either a DADCAW or a level design video for CS or something like that, or both. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for your help today, Veek, and see you guys next time. Bye.